Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the S-51. It's the Tier 7 Soviet SPG. It's located on the northeastbourne of Arctic region, otherwise known as Mannerheim Line, and it's under the command of Moose. Now, this is a very interesting battle, and you're going to see something, well, you probably didn't expect at the end. Game on. Moose has elected to use the stock gun, which, as I've been pointing out to a lot of people recently, actually does increase your damage on the enemy by virtue of the fact that you get more shots. You get 30 rounds with the 152mm BR2. 30 rounds, that's 10 more than you would get in an M12. So it makes a big difference, you see. You've got a lot more fire to actually rain down on the enemy. And the alpha damage is 700 hit points with burst radius of 7.6 meters. Moose is now aiming towards the enemy, and he started out by actually aiming down the west side of the map, not down to the usual spot, which is Heavy Alley down in the south of the map. He's aiming just ahead of his teammates, who haven't moved any further, but the enemy's appeared right down in the south. Now he's got the mountain in the way there, so he can't get a shot. He's got a red line. Oh, he had a green line there for a moment, but he's dialing in on an AMX M449. Now, it's not the Liberté version, but he's dialing... Oh, it's the 45 actually, not the 41. He fired a round in, and he's moving position straight away, so avoids the counter battery. But notice how he stopped to see what happened to the shell before he started moving. And I think that's going to be very relevant for a lot of people, because I'll be making that point ad infinitum to tell people, you know, don't ruin our replays by moving immediately you fire the shot and not showing us what happens to the shot. You saw him hit the Lanson there, got a direct hit, picked up 226 hit points. People who see RT replays consider them a bit boring, mainly because you sit around waiting for the gun to load for ages and dialing in on the target, and then you shoot. But he waits to see what happens to the shell, and we saw the shell went long, but it landed beyond the target and didn't do any damage. So we understand why what happened to that shell. We know he's got to correct his shell. There's the Scorpion G, virtually out of health. Now he's fully dialed in, rounds out straight away. Direct hit and a kill. That's his first kill of the game. You see, he stayed around, he watched the shots, he still moved the moment that he got his information on his kill, and he's avoided the counter battery. He's loaded, and he's fired around the SU-122, and he actually hits the Lanson C again for 296. And their shot went in and stunned the Jagdtiger 88. Now with that 152mm, he's got a much faster reload, 20.20 seconds, which means he's almost ready to shoot this Jagdtiger. He fires. 127 of splash. He's already moving. You see, he can do it perfectly. He can do both at the same time. It's almost like rubbing your belly whilst patting your head. You know, it's a case of doing both things at the same time. Okay, he's loaded. Rounds out the Jagdtiger. Direct hit. 311. He's racking up the damage. It's already up to 1,000 hit points. The battle's only been going just under 4 minutes. Okay, Jagdtiger is no more. And he had a large part in that, because that Jagdtiger was taking damage from, well, him and other players. Got a Tiger 1 now, hiding behind the rock, but he can land the shell next to the Jagdtiger for some splash. I think he's just holding his fire just at the moment, waiting for the Tiger 1 to move into the line of shot. That's it, rounds out. And he gets some splash on the Tiger 1 for 25, but moves position. He didn't want to go back because he would have hit the barbed wire fence, and that would have told the enemy Arty where he was. Jagdpanther. Okay, this is an interesting one. It's quite a big tank destroyer, so it's much easier to hit. Unfortunately, he pulled forward just at the moment that Moose fired. But we can see the other shell went in. So I think our teammate in the other Arty managed to get a hit. He's trying to find a solution at the moment for that T-29. It's very difficult. Okay, the Tiger should be around about there, but he's moved. I think he's got close to the rock. We can't hit the Wizzy. And we can't hit the T-29. Not from his current position. In fact, at the moment, he's got no targets to shoot at all. And he is actually going through that barbed wire fence, which is giving the enemy some information. But now the Tiger one's come into view and he's got a green line. Rounds out. Gets some stun, I think, off that one. Yes, he did go through the barbed wire, and that would tell... Oh, he's picked up a load of stun assist. Loads! 1,000 hit points of stun assist. The Tiger is almost out of hit points. He can get a splash kill if he can land it near. Go for it. Rounds out. Oh, the Tiger was killed just before his shell arrived. So he missed out on the kill. SU-152 taking fire. He's marked his target to let his teammates know he's firing in that direction. He's almost ready to go. Rounds out. Oh, just as he fired and the shell hit the wreck. So he knows he would have touched that target, possibly killed it. Well, we've reached the enemy cap area. We're now dialing in on an E25 and a GW. We're going for the GW because it's a more stationary target. Rounds out in the GW. That's a kill. He splash killed him. And that means the enemy only has 2 RT left now. Now they've got 4 tanks left. 2 heavy tanks down in the south. Another heavy tank we don't know the location of. And 1 RT. And their RT's been spotted. There he is, the Lorraine 15550. We fire around at his path. Unfortunately, he stops and changes direction. Unfortunately, we also lost one of the other tanks that was attacking their cap area. And we've only got an SU-101 now about down there. And it looks like he's hiding behind the rock. Here comes an VK1601H. 01P, and he gets the kill on that one. Now, getting back down to this fight that's going on down in the south, he's going to try and lend a hand by taking out that Lorraine 15550. Okay, he's loaded. Fires around there, thinking that's where the 155 is going to be. He needs a spot from the SU-101. Oh no! The enemy T-29 is going back to try and help his Arty. Rounds out. Oh, a hit! 259. Good hit. Both Arties went for the same tank. In fact, both heavy tanks are heading in that direction. Our SU-101 is now in trouble because he's trying to cap. And with 2 heavy tanks on his path, we fire at the T-29, splash him. There goes one of the enemy tanks. The T-29 just got taken out by our SU-101, but still leaves the Wizzy 111. So they've got 1 RT, 1 heavy tank. He fires a round in. Appeared to be fairly close. We lost the SU-101, I'm afraid, so that means now there's nobody over in that area of the map to tell us where the enemy are. And it's very likely that both enemies are going to be headed this direction. So we've got 2 RTs and a UDAS. And you remember I said at the start of this video that things might not turn out the way you expect them to. Well, this is where it gets interesting. As you can see, Moose is moving south. He's not going to be where the enemy expect him to be. He's actually going to go further south himself and try and ambush the enemy as they appear. being careful not to knock any trees down just in case the Lorraine's looking. Okay, this looks a good spot. He's also kind of protected by some of the bushes to his right. If you notice, those bushes do get in the way because there's a dip in the land here, and he's right up against the edge of the map, but he's ambushed on this corner. So if an enemy tank appears directly in front of him, he'll get a shot straight into their side, and then he can move quickly to get out of that spot. The UDAS is moving position. He's coming down the side of the Dragon's Teeth. Although this might be a mistake by him. Big Mama the Destroyer is his name. And he's going straight down into the dip, and that's not what we wanted. We wanted him to spot for us. And now he's gone down into the dip. It'll be down reliance on the Arty to spot for themselves. And Arty don't have very good view ranges, I'm afraid. And if that UDAS gets killed, then it's down to Arty to save the day. And the UDAS has gone right down to the south into the dip area. Moose has started aiming directly in front of himself, hoping that he can spot whoever comes up. The UDAS is skirting around the water's edge. I think it's a bad move by the UDAS. But I suspect that what he's doing is he's attempting to get to the enemy cap so he can start capping. And I think that is a big error. He should have waited for the enemy to come to him. Lorraine's changing position as well. Well, there's the Wizzy 111. He stayed behind and he's just wiped out our UDAS. Yep, I'm afraid he stayed behind, waiting for the enemy to come to him. And the UDAS just walked straight into a trap. He got spotted by the Wizzy. He was up on the heights near the duck. I know it looks like a duck. You can see that for yourself, where the Wizzy is. Grid Squares G4. Looks like a duck. Quacks like a duck. Well, anyway, that puts the Arty at a bit of a disadvantage now. As I said before, Arty do not have good view range. But I also said this video is a bit of a surprise, so let's see what happens next. Moose is setting up his ambush. Lorraine's pulled back. He's covering the other side just in case the enemy comes from the north. And the Wizzy 111 might actually do that. One minute 29 seconds. It's getting close. The enemy heavy must realise. Here comes the Lorraine! Only misses! I told you it was a surprise. The Lorraine 15550 managed to dodge that shot, but thanks to the fact that he has the stock gun, he's got a faster reload and he can get another shot on that Lorraine, and he's coming back round for another go. Okay, and now he's loaded. This time round he doesn't make a miss. He puts that shell right through the Lorraine. Now it means that the Wizzy 111 knows exactly where they are. There's the Wizzy. Okay, well, Moose is going to be loaded any second. And he kills the Lorraine 15550 and he's going for the cap. He can't cap. Yes! Kill at long range. Wins the game by Moose. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. It's an ace tanker for Moose in the S-51. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 14. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He ended up with 5. Nearly got a top gun. He also picked up a counter battery because he took out both of the enemy Arty, the GW Panther and then the Lorraine with his second shot. And that was quite funny because the Lorraine really should have thought about that one. After missing one shot, the Lorraine thought, oh, I'll just come around for another go. No, you won't come around for a second go because Moose has got the right gun. And the right gun means he can more than fire once, he can fire twice. And he'll get you on the second shot, and he did. Well done, Moose. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see that he didn't get the highest damage in the game. That actually went to the Wizzy 111. He got 2,744 hit points in that game. But he didn't pick up a high caliber for some reason. So maybe he damaged one of his own teammates. As for the SU-152, he also got the second highest damage with 2,372. And Moose got the third highest damage with 2,133. When it came to kills though, he was top with 5 kills in that game. 4 kills for the Wizzy 111, 4 kills for the Lorraine 15550, but unfortunately he made a critical mistake at the end of that game. And 3 kills go to the T29 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, yes, it's Moose with that one as well. 1,150, 957 went to the VK3002D, and 770 went to the OHO. And I suppose we should give a special mention to the Lorraine on our team, who did put up a fairly good fight during that game. 1,197, didn't get any kills, but 752 XP, which puts him in fourth place when it came to XP in that game. Moose fired 22 rounds in that game, got 7 direct hits, no penetrations but 17 splash. Damage of 2,133 hit points, of which 1,806 were at more than 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 5 of them, and did 1,450 hit points of stun assist off 12 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 33,692 credits from that game, and after ammunition resupply, still had 25,898 credits profit. He received 1,150 XP, times 2 for the first victory, got 863 from personal reserves, 300 from personal missions playout, and took away 4,613 experience points altogether, but he was the last man standing. He kept alive when all the others died around him, and he took out that last enemy tank on the move towards the cap. Very well played indeed by Moose. So if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and congratulate Moose on such a game well played. Thanks for watching.